Hey everyone, Olivia here, your trusted guide through the crypto landscape. On November 25th, 2025, XRP is trading at $2.19, up over 3% today after hitting a multi week high of $2.28. That's fresh off the launch of spot ETFs from Grayscale and Franklin Templeton, which pulled in a combined $164 million in inflows on their first trading day, outpacing Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana funds. This isn't just noise. It's institutional interest signaling real momentum in XRP's role as a bridge for global payments. Today, we're breaking down the data, expert takes from X, and what it means for the ecosystem. Stick around for insight straight from the source, and remember, this is not financial advice. Always do your own research. Let's start with the facts driving this surge. XRP's price action today reflects growing accessibility for investors. Grayscale's GXRP ETF saw $67.4 million in inflows, while Franklin Templeton's XRPZ added $62.6 million according to reports from the block. That's a total of $164.1 million on day one, bringing cumulative XRP ETF inflows to nearly $587 million across all funds. As Crypto Wendy O noted in her post with over 246 likes, these numbers highlight how XRP is drawing capital faster than established players right now. Why does this matter? ETFs lower barriers, no need for wallets or exchanges, allowing pensions, advisors, and everyday investors to tap into XRP's utility without the hassle. Zooming into the mechanics, XRP powers Ripple's network for cross-border transfers, settling in 3 to 5 seconds at fractions of a cent. With $27 trillion in annual global payments, even a slice of that pie could transform the space. Today's buzz on X underscores this. Chad Steingraber, a respected analyst with posts racking up 600 plus likes, outlined how these ETFs could accumulate billions of XRP over time. In one thread, he calculated that if 15 funds averaged 10 million XRP daily, net of inflows and outflows, that's 750 million weekly, potentially tightening supply. He points out, there is no other answer to what happens. The price must adjust to slow accumulation. It's a supply-demand equation, plain and simple, backed by real-time data from funds like Bitwise, which reported $18 million in yesterday's inflows alone, per their CEO, Hunter Horsley. But what's the community saying? Scroll X and you'll see electric reactions. Zach Rector's poll on 2025 XRP predictions drew thousands of views, with replies ranging from conservative $5 targets to optimistic $100 calls. Classic XRP Army energy. At long_tusks, with his technical breakdowns, forecasted a potential jump to $2.40 to $2.85 by week's end, citing thin order books and net buyer pressure from ETFs. These are all buyers, no selling, he said, and with weekend pumps being XRP's pattern, it's worth watching. Meanwhile, at the real Navi X, highlighted $55 million in today's ETF volume across Bitwise, Franklin, Canary, and others, calling it the warm-up before real liquidity arrives. These aren't isolated voices. They're echoing verifiable inflows from sources like CoinGlass, showing $456 million in XRP outflows from exchanges last week. Whales positioning ahead. Now, a quick technical snapshot to keep it grounded. XRP is holding above $2.18 support after reclaiming the $2.20 zone per U today and FX Empire analyses. RSI sits at 62, neutral but rising with 40% volume spike to $4 billion traded. Break $2.20 cleanly. Targets at $2.30 emerge, then $2.50 if momentum builds. Open interest jumped 8.5% to 1.82 billion XRP in futures, signaling committed traders. Analogy, it's like a river gaining steam. ETFs are the tributaries feeding the flow, and with ISO 2022 compliance aligning XRP with 70% of global banks by 2025, the current strengthens. Teaser. But what if more giants pile in? BlackRock and VanEck are rumored next, per at Moonlamboyo's post with 116 likes. Fidelity's already teasing, as at Ripple Winkle called out, Hey at Fidelity, when XRP ETF, we are waiting. If they launch, inflows could scale exponentially. JP Morgan's forecasting $14 billion across XRP and Solana ETFs combined. Educational note. XRP's deflationary design burns tokens per transaction, over 12 billion since launch, adding scarcity as adoption grows. Pair that with RippleNet's 70 billion quarterly volume, and you see why experts like those at Brave New Coin are eyeing upside signals. Rhetorical question, why XRP now, when broader markets dip? Because utility trumps speculation. While Ethereum battles gas fees, XRP's fixed 10-drop cost scales seamlessly. At Bullrunners HQ's video alert, with 70 likes, flips the bear narrative. If you own XRP, act fast. This happens next. Spot on, inflows like $351 million in November alone, double the yearly average, per Glassnode. What if BTC stabilizes at $90,000, XRP decouples higher, mirroring its 340% post-election run from 50 cents to $3.66 in July, addressing the skeptics head-on because doubt's part of the game. Myth 1, ETFs won't move price. Counter, Bitcoins did, $50 billion inflows, 100% gains. XRP's thinner market amplifies it. Day one, $164 million is 0.13% of supply, early days. Trustalize pushed back. The rebound had nothing to do with ETFs, everything to do with BTC. Fair, but data shows XRP outperforming amid the dip. Myth 2. Regulatory risks persist. Post-SEC clarity, that's fading. 21 shares, TOXR ETF launches November 29th, per at Invest with D's breaking post with 658 likes. Myth 3, hype over substance. No, Franklin Templeton calls XRP foundational for global settlement, driving real adoption in CBDC pilots across 20 countries, pain point for holders. That 15% monthly dip despite launches, its redistribution, as at the Crypto Basic quoted analysts. Current drop transfers wealth from impatient to patient. With ETF desks chasing at $2.20, per at Rip Bullwinkle's 57 like post, patience pays. If you're doubting like many, consider. Cumulative assets now at $628 million, up from 0 weeks ago. Projections from FX Empire, $3 possible if inflows hit $1 billion monthly. Not guarantees, but data-driven paths. Wrapping the analysis, today's $43.49 million in XRP ETF volume, down from peaks but steady, shows sustained interest per at Hedera Kimchi's tracker. Add Grayscale's 0% management fee edge, and it's a magnet. Community spirit shines in at XRP Crypto Wolf's Moon Memes, 175 likes, and at Zach Rector 7's debates. Technicals align for $2.30, fundamentals for long-term utility and $120 trillion cross-border flows. In recap, XRP at $2.19 reflects $164 million ETF inflows, $587 million cumulative, and expert models eyeing $2.50 to $3 short-term. Tweets from Chad Steingraber to Wendy O back the institutional shift. XRP's speed, burns, and partnerships position it uniquely. No hype, just potential in a maturing market. This empowers the ecosystem. Faster remittances, fairer finance, borders blurred. You're part of building that. If this sparked your interest, hit like to boost the algo. Comment your take on XRP's next level. $2.50? $3? Subscribe for more breakdowns and share with fellow enthusiasts. Let's discuss the data together. Again, not financial advice. DYR always. See you next time.